Hey guys, let's see if you guys can hear me. I gotta tell the kids one more thing. I'll be right back. James, inside the refrigerator, there's a white box. It's got dragon food in it for you, whatever we didn't eat. There ain't much. Hey guys, can y'all hear and see my starting screen? I swear these kids don't need me all day long, and then when I go to live to do a lesson, then they can't breathe without me. Yeah, where's everybody from? Hey guys, hey guys. Christy, Cynthia, Lindsay, and Simone, and TT are all new members of the YouTube channel. Yay. Hey Rosalie, hey Holly, hey Andrea, Sylvester, good to see you. I got you a CPMA question today. So I put that in the staff, in the list of our questions. Hey Blondie, good to see you. I got your request today, so be sure and get with Twinkle and give her your mailing address so she'll give it to me when I have a rational moment, and I'll get that sent out for you. Hey Go-Kart, good to see you. Hey Andrea. Hers too. Yeah, it's a full moon today, right? So we have that going on. Oh yeah, let me text my oldest. He is going down to LA tonight in Hollywood near Skid Row to ride around on his electric unicycle. If y'all haven't followed him yet, he's on TikTok, John the Viking, and it's spelled Jon. Anyway, we'll be posting more content of us riding around on stuff. My kids ride around on one wheels. They're kind of like a skateboard on one wheel. He rides an electric unicycle and I ride a scooter. So he's down in Duran's area down there in Hollywood tonight, and I need to go tell him it's a full moon. Oh my God, be careful. Yes. He'll be like, Mother, leave me alone. I'm 30 years old. I know what I'm doing. Hey guys. Yay, I'm so glad y'all can hear me. Colorado. Cool. Awesome. Hey Holly, good to see you. My sister from another mother, you know, she's a friend of mine, but I call her my sister. She married, her husband has the same last name as you, LaShawn. Awesome. Embellish, good to see you. Hey Trina. Hey Karen. Jocelyn, Northern California, awesome. Any good resources for the best methods of looking up ICD-10 codes? Your test prep has helped me pass, yay. Now on to AAPc Practicode. Oh man, I bet you are struggling. Be sure and Google the answers because it's impossible with as many errors are in the system too. Even if you have the correct answer, some of them are going to be wrong just because AAPc's system is wrong. I think they're under, spelt like that, Practium or something like that on Quizlet. Just be sure and Google the first sentence in each one of your, Jocelyn's noticed, be sure and Google the first sentence of every one of your cases and see what answers you can find posted. Don't forget, inside our Discord group, and go here, and go here. I have in our free, completely free Discord group, I have a Practicode group room where people are. It's called Practicode. And we have people, there's screaming cat in there. Yeah. There are people in here that have already passed and finished Practicode. There's one girl in here that finished in 3 months, and she said she would stick around and help people. She gave me all the examples too, and I haven't even looked at them. I just have not had time. Who was it that finished it and said she would be around to help you guys? I know it when I see her name. Kodiak, MK. I think Kat G finished it, but there's somebody. She's got a fun name. Who is it? They have a fun name. It's like, I don't know. I like their name. Anyway, y'all have a group room in our Discord group where you can chat with other people that are taking it, that have already passed it, that have finished it. There we go. Wonderful Vision 01. That's her. You can message her on Discord directly. Do private messages with her. And she has already finished it. And it took her like 3 months or something. She really worked with it. She wanted my help, and I ended up not helping her, but then she ended up sending me all of it for me to look at, so eventually I can help you guys, but I just haven't had a chance. Right here, she's got some tips listed. Here's a few tips. Take notes of payer at the beginning of the report, which tells you what's required. Post-diagnosis, procedure to be done. Do not read the entire report. Scan the report to determine what modifiers are required. And for E&M questions, code based on assessment and plan. Anyway, she's wonderful in here. Y'all utilize her, okay? Until I can find some time to quit my job. My next year, the 2024, will be my 30th year working in the medical field. I'm hoping to try to find a way to retire. Health insurance is probably the only real drawback, is that I would have to pay for my own health insurance until I'm 65, which is like 10 more years away or so. So if I can manage it, I would love to retire next year and do you guys full time. That would be awesome. I could spend more time working with y'all instead of, I don't know if it would, I think life would be a lot nicer not having a full-time job and doing all this on top of it with the boys and everything, but I don't know. We'll see if I can't, I don't know if I can manage it. Health insurance is really the main thing that I would need, and it really is a scary thing to look out there and try to find and pay for your own plan on your own. It's just all is crap anyway. It's just all garbage. It's just terrible. Anyway, no matter. Anyway, I won't get on that soapbox. Let's see. Is it mandatory after we pass? Nothing's mandatory. No way, Andrea. No way. It's just one option that they offer to help you get rid of your apprenticeship. But I got rid of mine without even doing Practicode, thank God. I just sent them my associate's degree from 1994, and then my job signed off saying I've used all 3 of the books in the decade that I've been there in my daily duties. It takes 2 years now to make it come off. Yeah. Used to be 1, I think. Retaken in December. Awesome. Practicode counts for 1 year of experience. Yep. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Yep, 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 yep. And remember, after you finish Practicode, all you need is anybody in any healthcare field with access to any kind of letterhead that would send a little note on a PDF that says they've seen you utilize all 3 books, CPT, ICD-10, and HIPPICS, in your daily duties for at least 1 year. If you can find a friend or anybody in the healthcare field that knows you, knows what you've been doing for a year, then you can get that PDF and send it in. First time on the live here. Hey, Katie. Been watching a few videos, replays. Excited. Hey, South Dakota. Good to see you. Thank you, Go-Kart. Blondie, Affordable Care Act can pay for all or most of the insurance while you're not working. I will check it out. I will. I graduated with my coding and billing certificate. Does that count as 1 year too? It could. It depends on how many credit hours it is, but it sounds like a coding and billing certificate. Seems like it would be enough, yeah. My sister's an MP, different last name. If she has seen me study for the last year, does that count? Yeah, Blondie, just have her put it on her own letterhead and say she has seen so-and-so. Yep. And you know, the person that wrote my letter actually has the same last name as me. They didn't care. They did not care. They don't have time to deal with any of that mess. They just need to see a date to a date and some letterhead and a signature. So don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Huh. You've also worked at the hospital for 25 years. Shoot. Yeah, you'll be good. All right, guys. Any other questions before we get started? Oh, I do have a possible job opening coming. Real quick. What? Here. Okay. So, this little thing right here in the middle is from AAPc. It's their little template that they have. But basically, all you need is a letterhead, you know, a company logo at the top, and then it's got "To whom it may concern" with today's date on it, and it says, all you need in the middle is that either this template from the AAPc website, which is, you know, y'all know where that is, and you just need this one little sentence that says, "I have witnessed so-and-so," put your name in there, "utilize the current AMA CPT book, ICD-10, and HIPPICS books in their daily duties for the tenure of their employment, which has lasted from this date to current," whatever, and type out the person's name at the bottom, and then get you a signature on there, turn that into a PDF and send it in. I went and got my college transcripts. I sent those in. I sent this PDF in, and I sent them an email to this email address right here. And right here is what I wrote them in the email. It says, I'm submitting proof signed by my employer verifying, because it was way back when I got my CPC, I had to include ICD-9, but and then this was what I received back from AAPc. They said, great, when you do take your CPC exam, we will remove your A because you haven't even taken your exam yet. I definitely did not want to, I've been in the medical field way too long to get any kind of apprenticeship thing, so I made sure I submitted all this stuff well before I took my exam. You can do a screenshot of that and just work on it when you get time. This is also located on my website under the shared gallery if you need it. Just checking to see if y'all can hear me, right? Is it still being bad? Now you're too quiet. Talking to my kids. Is it still glitchy and skippy? Not glitchy. Okay. But the screen is blurry. Ugh. Hey Holly, okay. It's going to be in Las Vegas in about 3 months from now. I have a nurse practitioner who's going to start her own home health agency so that she can see her patients and bill her patients herself. She wants me to work for her, and I graciously do not want the job. I don't want another job. I already got enough jobs as it is. But I would love to find her somebody that could, consult with me to do her home health codes. I've already done a template for her and written out each code that she should use for what type of visit and all that kind of stuff. So she could do it herself, but, why not hire somebody? So she just needs somebody to send her OASISs to Medicare with the attached correct diagnosis codes and billing, CPTs or HIPPICs. But it's starting from the ground up because she's going to own her own business. So it'll probably be mostly all done remotely from home, but, you do need to meet her and y'all can have conversations. Y'all can do lunch in Vegas. She lives dead center right next to the airport, very close. So she's dead center of Las Vegas, so super easy person to work with. It's going in and out. Okay. Okay, let me reboot everything and I'll be back. I gotta make sure I save this document before I close everything. So I'm back. I just gotta go open up Word documents again. So hold on just a sec. I shut down the entire computer. And go back to that screen until I find what we're looking for. That keeps going off. Stop that. Oh, Chloe, don't. God, come on. Come on. Come your little furry butt into the room. Yeah. You can't take your time at this time of the night. And sashay in when you please. You hollered at my door. You come on in. Oh, this does not look right. This is not what I wanted. Where did my document go for tonight? Let's try this one. There we go. Yep, we did that last night. We did that last night. Here. Yep. Okay. Yay, found it. Okay. And I need this to go to this other one. Okay. Okay. I hope it is a lot better now. I gotta go to YouTube and bring up chat, maybe. No sound yet? Yeah, I should have sound. You can. Okay, Marcy can hear me. Okay. First question for tonight. Good job. Dermis is correct. Epidermis is the outer skin. Lots of integumentary tonight. Somebody was asking about flaps again, burns. I have all that kind of stuff coming up. I forgot, though, to put in some of, I wanted to do more of the, y'all guess what the answer is without seeing the question. So I may flip back and forth between these screens so I can cover up the questions because I forgot to put those on there. I meant to, I thought about it, and then I just ran out of time. Anyway, here's your next one. Wound repair codes are determined by what criteria? Size, location, CMs, benign, malignant. What do you think? Hannah, she passed. Congratulations. Love it. Two weeks ago. Thank you, Jen. Aw. CIC is going to have a ton of fill in the blanks. Those practice questions scare the heck out of me. I do have them. It's a lot of fill in the blank. You got to go find the answer. And it's not just one diagnosis per question. Diagnosis codes and CPT codes and modifiers that you have to find. So CIC scares me. COC is just like CPC, but it has a little bit more billing information in there too, mixed in with your just surgicals, hospital surgical outpatient surgery, CPTs. So it's pretty much the same. I use the COC questions in a lot of my lessons with you guys because a lot of those were on my CPC exam. So think about this one. We're doing repairs. So when somebody's riding that bicycle and they fall off and they get cut on the arm, right? And they need somebody to stitch it up. Do we do square centimeters on that? No, we don't. So anything with square centimeters, we get rid of. So that leaves us with D and A because we're just measuring from this location to that location, the entire length that we need to do the stitches. That's what we're doing when we're doing repairs. Squared is when you're removing something, right? You're doing those excisions. So repairs are the full length in centimeters. So anything that says square, you get rid of for this question. So now you know your answer either has to be A or D. Well, you already have 90% of COC done if you passed your CPC. All you have to do is learn the billing questions. They have practice exam questions, A, B, C, D, E, and F. I would go buy the COC practice exam questions for COC, do those, and write the billing stuff in your book, and then go take it. You know. You're almost there. Yep, this one is A. Perfect. Remember, repairs are just the location. Are we arm, leg, face, the size of the stitching that we did in centimeters, and classification, meaning are we simple, intermediate, or complex? That's it. That's how you do repairs. Pressure ulcer has 4 stages. Which stage includes soft tissue necrosis down to muscle and bone? I see a bunch of C's. Perfect. That is stage 4. Here's a listing of each one of the stages. Stage 1 is persistent focal erythema. Stage 2 is partial thickness. Stage 3 is full thickness. And stage 4 is dead tissue. Who won all the memberships? Mamie, Jasmine, Jane, Rut, and Jessica. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. I hope those videos, the exclusive videos that the YouTube memberships give you are super helpful. The replays of the individual book prep videos where I'm going code to code to book prep, the repeat workshops, super helpful. Great way to stop, pause the video while you're watching me do 3 hours of nothing but practice exam questions. You can pause the video, set a timer for 2 minutes, and then try to do the question yourself, see what answer you got, and then play the video, see what the answer is. What do you guys think the answer is for this one without looking at the question at all? What do you think? If you haven't already, be sure, if you're brand new to my YouTube stream, make sure that you have click the little button on one of those prize boxes. It has 3 little dots on it. If you hover over one of those prize boxes, when you click on the 3 dots that will appear, if you haven't already, be sure to allow gifts. If you don't have that already picked, it won't pick you as a winner. So I give away memberships as much as I can to my YouTube channel. So just need to make sure that your YouTube account will allow for gifts. YouTube picks the winners. I just toss them the money and then they pick the winners. But they can't pick you if you haven't allowed it. These two are the exact same, so that's cool. One has a modifier, one doesn't. These two are separated by 1 number. The first thing I would look for when I look at this note is, are we right or left? Because if we are right, then you know your answer's A, right? If you're left, then you know you need to go down here to C and D and look up those 2 differences in those codes. Sorry. Hold on, a child's walking in. Steam Deck back. Is that really important right now? I'll think about it. But I'm not supposed to find that in your bed, am I? No. No electronics in the bedroom. Thinking about it. He's too cute. I hate it when he does that. I don't allow TVs or video games or anything in their bedroom. So no cell phones, none of that stuff. And he kept taking his Steam Deck to bed with him. I'm like, no, that's for sleepy time. You don't need to be all like me and glare at the cell phone or the electronic device for 4 hours and not sleep. You gotta go to sleep. All right, let's check out our questions, see if we're right or left first. Scroll from the bottom up. See if you can see where we're at. Oh, we're left breast. So you know you're getting rid of A and B. Now you need to go look. Don't look at anything else. Run to your CPT books and let's go see what the difference is between 19.3.16 and 18. What are those differences? 19.3.16 and 18. One of them's a mastopexy, and one of them is a breast reduction. What are we doing today? I hate it when they don't have procedure headers listed for you. It's always nice when they do that. So with this one, you're going to need to know what is being done inside a breast reduction or what's being done in a mastopexy. What do you guys think? Perfect. Good job. C is correct. But see how those modifiers, super helpful. Go find out if you're right or left, and then that let you eliminate 2 answers. Got you down to 50-50 shot really, really quickly. We can put underneath the mastopexy that electrocardio was used, right? There's lots of words here. Keyhole shaped. They were making a circular cut, right? Oh, let me hide the question real quick so we can try to guess and see what the answer is without reading any part of the question first. Here we go. What do you think the answer is for this one without looking at any of the question? Just for pretend, it's always fun just to practice the process of elimination. Look for similarities, look for irregularities, look at your modifiers. Think about if A was the answer, if B was the answer, what would be going on?
Roseanne Suez has become a member.
Thank you, Roseanne. I hope that membership helps you out a whole bunch. We've got 2 areas. This one doesn't have the right on it. These 2 do. And I like the first numerically, or this one, depending on where we're at. All right, let's see what's going on. We're doing an ABBI. The definition of that is right there. They use stereo guidance. Good timing, Anne. Very good timing. Anybody else want to take a guess? You're correct. B is correct. Good job. Perfect. Be sure to grab anything from the question that isn't already near the CPT code that you could utilize with to describe anything. Like if you don't have ABBI listed there underneath the 1981, you could add that in to your notes. Oh, let me hide the next one for you real quick. See how I can play around with it, with the process of elimination. Okay. What do you guys think the answer would be for this one without seeing the question? We've got two similar here, two similar here. We've got modifiers. We've got 3 procedures here, 2, 2, and 2. If I look at my second codes, these for A and D are like 7 codes away from each other. These 2 codes are only 1 code away from each other. They're closer, so I would like B and C just based off that. And I would go look up my differences between these 2 codes, see what that is before I looked at my question, just to see if I happen to be in the right spot, what would be that difference? 158. and 79. One's upper and one's lower extremity? Huh. So then I just go look for body position. Let's go see. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with lower extremities. So I would pick C and move on with my day. What do you guys think the answer is? ABBI. Yep. So see how quickly you took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 CPT codes staring at you. And just by looking for numerically similar numbers, then seeing how far apart the numbers are from each other and which set is the closest to each other turns you from having to look up 9 different codes to only looking up 2 CPT codes, seeing what those differences are, looking for that one difference, and that's it. Pick your answer and move on. Don't go diving into all this mess, because if you do look up all 9 codes and you do read every single word, you're going to drive yourself nuts and get confused and pick the wrong answer. And if you don't know that the iliac crest is your hip, you really should for a CPC or any AAPc exam. They love the iliac crest. Thank you, Go-Kart. You just got to remember to utilize it during a stressful exam, because time's a ticking. They start the clock before you open up your test booklet. It's crazy. Time's a ticking if you take it in person. Oh, let me get rid of this one. So annoying, I didn't do that today. Just ran out of time. We were mopping floors. I was cleaning out the back of my truck. We're going to make a donation to the... Who am I making a donation to? Oh, my mom went and saw somebody this week at a luncheon. Tops, T-O-P-S Club. They're having a rummage sale, and so she wants me to take a bunch of stuff over there. So cleaned out the back of the truck, cleaned the grout lines and the tile floor, and did a ton of laundry today. And folded it and put it away. So that's a whole ordeal. Just ran out of time. All right. And I had to go to the post office. What do you think the answer is here without looking at the question? What would be your guess? We got 3 CPT codes here. 2, 2, 2. Do we see any coding irregularities? As often as I can, Julie. As often as I can. I have 3 sons and my mom and a full-time job. So life is really crazy. My kids, my youngest ones just started high school and they are in cheer, football, baseball, and soccer right now, all at the same time. We only have 2 more football games, thank goodness. But every day is a new surprise. I never know what time I have in the afternoons available after work to go live right now in this particular time. The best thing to do is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's completely free. Change your notification. You have to go into your settings on YouTube and change it to where you're alerted that when I go live, so your phone will go off when I go live. I always try to schedule one with YouTube and say, okay, I'm going to go live at this time today, but I usually only give you about an hour or 2 notice before I'm going to go live. And I always do, try my best to do 2 hours free lessons. I try to do them 3 times a week. But life is crazy. And I will be out of town for a week in October. I'm going on the road to Seattle. So if anybody lives in the Seattle metropolitan area, I will be there. And if you want to meet me, I'm happy to meet with you and tutor or whatever you want to do. I won't have my books or anything with me, but I can look at your books, see if you're prepared. I can make sure that you know the basics, tell you what parts inside these CPT books will probably be on your exam. I can tell you, okay, yeah, no, this code, that code, that kind of stuff. We can, you can ask and quiz me whatever you want. We can go have Starbucks somewhere. So if you're in the Seattle area, around, when am I going? October something. 18th through the 24th, I will be in that area if anybody wants to snag me while I'm in town with my young'uns. They're going to go to a DOTA convention. 2 of them will be. Travis will be with me, so you'll get to meet Travis if you want to meet. That's right, Marcy. Awesome. That's great. The 24th is a fly day for me. I fly out of Seattle the 24th, so the 23rd would be better, but for me, but we always fly out in the afternoons. But I'm not a nice morning person. I mean, I'm not bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 8 o'clock in the morning, but, you know, I know my flight probably won't leave till 4 or 5 o'clock, but you have to be there 2 hours early, so it's always such a hassle. And I don't think we're going to rent a car because we've got a condo right across the street from the convention center, and that's where we're supposed to be, so there's no real need for a car. So we'll just be down in that area. But anyway, I don't have to take a rental car back, so that's good. But yeah, anytime, Marcy. What did you guys think you're about 2 hours from Seattle? Goodness. And gasoline prices up there are so expensive too, huh? Let's see. But I hope to make whatever time we can get together valuable and worth your time to come out and see me. So what I'm seeing here on these is, of course, we've got 3 of them that start off with the same code, right? So, and this one's got extra stuff in it, right? So I'd probably eliminate that one. Now, what I see out of A, B, and C is that A has a ×3 on the first code and a times on the second code. Do we normally times the mama code? We can in certain situations, but not generally. I mean, think about E&M when we do critical care visits. It's the first one is here, and then any additional goes here, usually. So I would probably eliminate A. So out of B and D, I just need to know that this could be 5 items and this could be 3 items removed, right? Or repaired, or whatever the heck we're doing in this section. So I'm thinking of the number 3 and I'm thinking of the number 5 is what I would be thinking. It's probably B, but who knows? Let's go see. They're just doing repairs. We got 10, 4, 9, but cheek and chin probably go together, and hands probably go somewhere else, right? Or does the cheek go with the hands? I know it's really crazy because the extremities don't include the hands and the feet, so it's always a nightmare to do these. 13. And then the chin could be, I don't know, it's weird on the ear and the chin and the cheek. They're all, one of them is separated from the other ones. 132, 132. You got to go look at mama to see where you're at. So 31 is taking care of the cheek and the chin. It is all together. And our hands and feet are all together too. So that's cool. That's cool. So we'll definitely do up to the 7.5 is the first code. Anything after 7.5 will go towards the timeses. So we have 14 plus 9 is 23, minus our 7.5, 5, make that into a 2. Boys are on Fortnite again. So we got 15.5, right? And how many will our thing do? It will only do 5 of them, and we already have 15. So you know 5 times 3 is 15, and we're over 15. So you know the 2 won't work, because you know we at least got to have 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So it's got to be D. Got to be D. Thank you, Julia. Yep, Blondie, I saw that. My audio was probably cutting out earlier. I already said I was sending it to you. I already told Twinkle to get your address. She's going to send it to me. Got one going to you and one going to Go-Kart. Alrighty. D is the answer. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Let me cover up the next one so y'all can guess and see what you think the answer is with the process of elimination before we look at the question. All right, what do you think the answer is for this one? We have 2 procedures here, 1, 1, and 1. This one and this one have the same diagnosis. This one and this one have the same diagnosis. No modifiers. These 2 are the same. These 2 are the same. Yeah, I'd immediately probably pick D. You know, usually if it's a difference between one code or the 2 codes, it's usually just one code. What's going on in our 11.9 area? 11.950 is just a subcutaneous injection. So we just need to know the amount of subcutaneous. That's a coding irregularity is C, because we wouldn't code a mama with a child code unless we did the 59 modifier to show it was a separate visit. So that's definitely out the door. So then we just need to know the size of the injection, because anything over 1 cc is going to be B. So what was the size of our injection? We got 2 cc's. So we know our answer is super easy. We know our answer is B with this one. Yep. B will take care of everything up to 5 cc's. Super easy. Don't read anything of these questions. That's the only thing that you needed to pick out the answer. So only look for that and let the rest go away. You ain't got time to play with none of this stuff. 2 minutes per question will go by so fast. Oh, let me put this one up again. Fix it for you. Insert, shape. Full thickness burns. Y'all ready for burns? Draw. All right, what do you think the answer is here without seeing the question? We've got 1, 2, 2, and 3. That's just the amount of codes that are in each answer. We've got 3 that start out with the same answer. Anne and Steph and I think it's B, because if it's a difference between 1 code or 2 codes, most of the time it's 1 code. Not always, but most. So I'd put my bet on B. Let's go see what B's got going on. 15100. Go look her up. Once you pick out your code that you want, you need to see what it includes. Does it include stereo or ultrasounds or cryotherapy? Wherever you're at, you need to see what it includes. What it doesn't include, all that kind of good stuff. We've got a split thickness graft, trunk, arms, legs, first 100 square centimeters, or 1% of the body. So, first 100. So anything less than 100 or up to 100 squares is taken care of here. Let's go find out how much of a graft we did. Every time I see the word buttocks now, I hear Forrest Gump talking about it in my head. Every single time that plays in my head rent-free, every time I see that word, I can hear Forrest talking about his Vietnam wound. That will forever be there. You too, Anne? Oh my God, just as clear as day. Clear. I can hear that audio. Who's the director of that movie? He owes us rent money. Was that Spielberg? I don't know. I think maybe. He owes us rent money. Oh, It's rough, us being in the medical field. So I see that this one says we did a split thickness graft and a preparation for the wound. So we did do 2 procedures. So I know my B is out the door, unfortunately. Which code is for my surgical prep? That's over there across the hall from the code, and that is 15002. 02 is always my prep, surgical prep. So it got me in the general direction. I just had to pay attention and make sure that I only did 1 procedure or if I did 2. So it's not fair that they don't use the 59 modifier here, but I don't guess you need to. Since they're both under the same header, I don't know why. I don't know. I guess it's dependent on payer. They're under different headers. Autographs versus surgical prep. Maybe you don't. But I'm sure that surgical prep of the procedure, the wound, is just not going to get paid no matter what by any payer. But we don't have to worry about payer stuff too much, because just out of the answers that are available, that's all we need to worry about. What would be the most correct answer? Not what is the correct thing to bill or code. So this one, the answer is A. Because we are going to bill for both. Let me put that. The cover down on this one. Okay, this one doesn't need a cover. Here we go. It's a wordy one. It's a guideline one. Based on guidelines, which statement is true when multiple biopsy techniques are performed on the same encounter? So multiple biopsy techniques. It might be a needle biopsy or a punch biopsy or whatever. What is your guideline when you have multiple biopsy techniques are performed during the same encounter? Primary code for each type of biopsy should be reported. Only one primary lesion biopsy is coded. Only one biopsy is reported regardless of the location, or facility-specific coding conventions determine what is coded. What do you guys think on this one? That's what I was thinking too, Anne. Boy, we're on fire tonight. We've given away 11 gifts tonight. Thank you, Twinkle. 11 memberships given away today. Woohoo! It's Friday night, giveaway night. Thanks, Twinkle. Who won? Who won? Who won? Zena. Oh, awesome. Perfect. Congratulations. And I gave away, what did we give away? Like 6 last night? We've been on a roll. They're so much fun to give away. Anointed was in here giving a super chat, another way to gift last night. So I gave away 6 then, and I gave away 10 of them, I think, tonight already. Yeah, Anointed's great. So's Twinkle. We've been having fun. What does anybody think about this guideline? I've had one person answer. They think it was D. Katie disagrees with us and says D wouldn't be it. B and C are most alike because they both start out with the word only. Start out with the same first 2 words. Katie thinks A. Julie says B. Go-kart goes with C. I think she picks C every time. When she doesn't know what the answer is, I'll go with C. Couple of A's. Primary code for each biopsy should be reported. If we have multiple biopsies on the same lesion, we can't code the biopsies, each of them. We would code 1 biopsy per lesion is how we're supposed to code biopsies. I do know that much because this A does say code each type of biopsy, and she's probably talking about the punch or versus the needle, the things that I was saying. So we would bill for each type of biopsy, but unfortunately, no, we don't. We don't bill the punch and a needle biopsy. If they're, all in the same lesion, we would code 1 primary biopsy based off 1 primary lesion. So if we're just biopsying a bunch of stuff, we pick 1 and code it away according to our guidelines. It's B. So that's a really good guideline to go right at the top of any Integumentary page, especially the ones around the punch biopsies and the shaves. So around page 84 and 85, you can write the words multiple biopsy techniques equal only 1 primary lesion biopsy coded. Right there. That will help out. Write it down. That's right. I got this question wrong. I picked facility-specific coding conventions determine what to code. That sounded most reasonable to me. Because I work in the field, and I know we change the guidelines based off our contracts, and that's what we're going to do. And that's a disadvantage to us people that are actually out there working in the field. It's because we put our real life work knowledge into this exam, and you really need to not do that. You're just going to get yourself wrong, because AAPc is not testing you on real life stuff. They're testing you on the guidelines in the CPT book. But yeah, I picked D myself. And I don't think this is something that I have written down in my notes for you guys. So it will be a new one for my 2024 notes for sure. Okay, please repeat the statement. Okay, so on page 84, I can't do anything other than to click on that. It won't let me do it. Where am I at? I want to delete that. There we go. I want to copy this. I want to put that down there. And then I want to just erase this because, and then I want to do this. Oh no, I want to drag that there. I'm going to drag you there. Okay. And I'm going to put equal. Right there. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go to page 84 of your CPT book and you're going to write multiple biopsy techniques. What does it say? Same encounter, only one primary lesion biopsy is coded. So if we do a punch and a needle biopsy, you can only bill one primary biopsy, primary lesion biopsy. I'd love to see another question where they're actually using a punch biopsy and a needle biopsy in an encounter and see what the answer is, to put this more in a visual sense, not just like the wordy guideline stuff. So I'll look for that and then put these two questions together and re-present this again as soon as I find a practice question like that, because that would be good to have back-to-back two different types of examples of this question for sure, because it's hard to see when you just see it in a theoretical sense, but it's nice to see it in an actual CPT code setting. Okay, I've got this code for needle, and I got this one for biopsy, a punch biopsy, or the scoopy one where we do the scoop, shave. You know, what if we did all three during an encounter? We only bill one? Is that what they're saying? So I'd love to see that as a real one. Yeah, the chart shows you. Our chart on page 82. If you have 2 biopsies, 3 punch biopsies, 2 incisional, what if you have 1 incisional, 1 scoop, 1 punch? What if you have 1 punch biopsy and 2 biopsies, 2 shave? It's having you code each of them individually on page 82. I gotta go yell at Travis. He's not being nice on Fortnite. Travis, I heard that. I think everybody on the internet heard you too. Please stop. If you're going to be that worked up about a silly game, you need to log off and take a chill pill. Oh my goodness. They get so worked up. Multiple biopsy techniques, same encounter, only one primary lesion biopsy is coded. I don't know. That's the answer they wanted. See notes under biopsy. When multiple biopsy techniques are performed during the same encounter, only one primary lesion biopsy code, the O2, the O4, and the O6 is reported. And you can see on that chart on page 82, there is no O2 and an O4 coded together. There's no O4 and an O6 coded together. So those particular codes right here, we can add that to our page, top of our page, meaning those three codes are never coded together. They're always coded separately. That helps. That helps. Sorry guys, I'm trying to go to YouTube and find my pop-out chat because for some reason OBS is timing out the pop-out chat, and when I closed and rebooted my system, it closed out all my internet pages and I don't have the pop-out chat where I can see it. And when it disappears from OBS, I can't see what y'all have said. Pop it out, pop it out. There we go. Here we go. I got it open now. And everybody, please repeat, please repeat, please repeat. Oh no. It says same encounter, not lesion. That's where my brain is going. Any advice on abbreviations or note I used to add to my book that aren't in them, but I may need to be on the test? Will be taken on December. Julie, what you asking, dear? I don't know if I understand that. What'd she say? Whew. That's a brand new 2022 CPT code I've got. No notes in that one either. Jeez. So what did Julie want? Advice on abbreviation or note to use to add to my book that aren't in there. Girl, I got tons of notes in my book. I don't know, like, I mean, I make notes in mine all over the place. Like, every single picture has what each body part does listed, no matter where the picture is. Every CPT code will have a one-word difference written underneath it throughout the entire book. And then every one of these practice exam questions that I've gone over, there's examples on every single page that says, like, this is a right great toe bunionectomy, infected toenail. How would you code it? It's an 11750 with a T5 modifier. I mean, yeah, I make the notes. If you want copies of my notes, they're on my website, Medical Coding by Jen. But, and then any other alerts that I do that I need to know, I write at the top. Or any kind of guidelines, I write at the top, like, don't code local anesthesia on simple repairs. It's included. don't code lesion excisions with ATTs. The ATTs, adjacent tissue transfer, already include the excision and the graft and the repair. Everything's already included. So I put all my guideline alerts up top. I write my one-word differences next to each code. I mark all my do nots, all my do's, all my modifier alerts. Lord. And I move anything that's in the guidelines to the actual CPT codes. When it says don't report this code with that code, I go to that code and make sure it's marked there. Any of these examples that they mark in the book, I make sure those examples are moved over there. Anytime it says do not add this with that one, then I go to those codes and rewrite it next to the codes, because I'm never going to go back here and look at it during the middle of an exam. What about page 82? So 82 has, it's not going to be on 82 here. Okay, right here. 82 has this little chart that tells us how to code the, if you have 2 biopsies, if you have 3 biopsies. Oops, I lost my camera. It has that on it. We were looking for it to give us some direction on how to code, what guideline they were telling us here. So for this one, what they're saying in this particular guideline is that you will never code an 1102 with an 1104 or with an 1106. Those are all separated. And if you do look at this chart, you will see that that is never done. So we keep those separate. You can code an 1102 with an 1103, that's fine, or 1104 with an 1105, or an 1106 with an 1107, but you won't code the 1102s with the 1104s with the 1106s. Those are all, we keep those separate. That's what they're telling us in this guideline. So I'm trying to read chat. I need to sleep. Sorry, Marcy. And I know she's waiting on her CPMA question. How many more questions do I have till I get to that? I may not even get to that tonight, huh? What time is it? Oh, it's only 7:45. So we still have 45 minutes. If anybody wants to hang out long enough. Your CPMA question is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions away. Let me block the question on this one. What do you think the answer is for this one without looking at the question or your CPT book? What would you pick? Just by looking at the numbers numerically, looking for coding irregularities, counting things. We've got 4 codes here, 3 codes here, 2, and then 3. The 72 and 73 and 71 are closest. They're all different in the front. The rear end codes, we've got 3 that match. Sorry, Andrea. Usually happens when I turn on my screen. Try to refresh your screen, see if it's any better now that I turn the camera off. I like C just simply because it has the least amount of billable codes. A lot of times they're just trying to push you into coding a bunch of stuff, and I don't think that I would ever do. This just looks weird with all these 15s, 3 of them. And with, I don't know, it just looks weird. And much less 4 of them. I don't know. But I would just pick C. I would be thinking that C was my answer. So let's go look at 15002. Is that the surgical prep? Did we already look at that code today? And see what's going on in that one? Yep, that's surgical prep. And then what's 15273? 15273 is the application of a graft. As long as we're less than 100 square, this would be our answer. What kind of graft are we doing? Substitute skin. So we got fake skin. Of the trunk, arms, and legs. So as long as we're trunk, arms, and legs, and we're using substitute, we should be good with C. Let's go C. We got abdomen, abdomen. So that's trunk, right? That checks here. How much? 10 by 10 is how much? 10 times 10. And C, we can do 100 or less. I don't see a problem with it. Anybody else want to guess that it might be something else? Katie's saying D, that we would have 15200 to go with it. 15200, we have a full thickness, free, direct closure donor site trunk of 20 squares or less. We used acellular dermal autograft. And we're using allograft. That means somebody walked somebody else's stuff to you. The 200, well, 273 is a substitute skin graft. You need to know what an acellular dermal autograft means. Is that a skin substitute? And see, they say it's from a donor bank, but that doesn't mean that it is donor skin, right? Donor banks have donor skin, yes, but they also grow what? Fake skin there too. So don't let the placement of that donor word make you think that this is donor skin. Acellular means without a cell. A means no. So there is no human cells in this graft. So be sure to write next to 15273 an AKA term for substitute graft is acellular dermal, because I can't say that one more time. Be sure to write that inside your notes next to underneath the 15273. You'll know the difference this time. Donor banks can hold lots of stuff in them. Hey, go-kart. So glad you're back. Does that make sense? Yeah, that means the old dead skin was removed. But what in the question determines prep? Or is it assumed? Good question. Let me see. Burn eschar, right there. That burn eschar is surgical prep. If you look at your CPT code for surgical prep, it says it right there, burn eschar. You're welcome. That is your surgical prep. And then this is your graft. 2 codes. Surgical prep and your acellular. It does matter because O2 was only in, it was in every answer, but it was the last code in every answer other than one of them. And if you know anything about burn patients, what takes longer? What is the more difficult procedure? It's removing previous skin grafts. It is extremely painful to the patient. It's torturous, laborious, because they have new skin attaching to it, dead skin there, and you have to scrub it off. That is your most difficult procedure. You want to always code those first. And then the extra skin graft that you put on afterwards is the easiest part of the job, actually. Yeah, debriding. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a guideline probably in this area right before you do surgical prep that says you code it first. Based on the location, let's see, O2, for example. Yep. Different anatomical sites. I'm sure you code it first. It probably says there somewhere. Okay, yeah. And then you do modifier 59 if you do, yeah. The second thing. Surgical prep underneath the definitions, page 94. Starts off your guidelines talking about it, and then what would follow afterwards. Your grafts would follow afterwards. Yeah, that's on page 94. Right under the word definition. Nine months in the hospital recovery. I do not have the patience for that. Oh, that's a lot to live through right there, for sure. They can even use fish scales now. Head picked skins. They found much better results from the fish scales too, so that's cool. When his camper blew up, oh my gosh. Yep, donor bank. Yep. Some people donate their bodies to science, and if they are larger and can allow it, we can harvest some of their skin for this kind of stuff. Most people are tiny and old and frail, and their skin is so paper thin, it's not worth grafting if they die of old age. So it's not easy to catch a lot of healthy and a lot of square footage of healthy skin too. Used to, for a while, people that lost a lot of weight, they could donate skin to burn centers, but because the skin is a breakdown of healthy tissue, it would have been better if we harvested when they were, heavier and healthier than after they've lost all the weight, because the cells aren't as happy as they used to be. They're dehydrated and not, happy. They lose a lot of their elasticity and stuff when you lose a lot of weight. But we tried to do that for a while, but it's just not the same. Anyway, there's your answer for this one. So now you know your AKA term for surgical prep, which is your eschar, right? The sloshing off of all the dead skin. You get to bill for that. Most difficult procedure. And then your replacement skin graft. You just need to see, are you autograft? Did the graft come from the patient themselves? Did it come from a donor? Or is it fake stuff? Let me cover up this next one. My child. All right. What do you think the answer is for this one without looking at a question? Just trying to practice looking for similarities, irregularities. What do you think the answer is? Yep, it just goes to waste. It does. It kind of goes in like hibernation mode. It never completely goes away, but it's just kind of sitting there, each little fat cell, and it hibernates. And then if it can find access to any extra sugar at any point, even 5-10 years down the road, it will swell up with it if it can find some. So once you create a fat cell, it's always there, but you can shrink them down and keep them down, but always know they're there waiting. I lost 80 pounds last year, and God, it's hard. They're still there in my head talking to me. You want that honey bun, don't you? Yeah, you know you do. They're waiting. If you do get them surgically removed, that is one of the nicest and easiest ways to get rid of them forever, but it's the only way, really. But then you end up with all these scars. Plus, you have to go under, and you never know if the doctor is worth his grain or her grain in salt, if she's going to give you some necrophagus, some skin infection. Good gracious. You're trying to do the same. It's hard when you work from home. The refrigerator's just too close. But as older as I'm 52 now, I think, or 53, one of the two. My metabolism is so slow now. I could eat once every other day and be fine. But I just drink juice in the morning, fruit juice, chew it up in my bullet blender thingy, have juice in the morning of fresh fruits, whatever I want, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, whatever, black cherries, drink juice and pineapples in the morning, apples, and then I have my one meal around 2 or 3 o'clock, or like last night, it was after I went live at 8:30. I just was so busy yesterday, didn't have time to eat. But that's it. One meal a day. That's all I can do, because if I eat 3 meals a day, I'm going to be over 200 pounds. It's just what it is. I have to eat just one good meal. And I have my juice. And if I eat at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, my one big meal, then I have a snack before bed, but that's it. Lots of water. What did you guys think is the answer? Thank you, Andrea. 80 pounds. Sure did. I haven't been in my 130 since I had my first kid, gosh, in 1991. So it's nice to be back down to what I should have been all my life, but it's a shame I had to wait till I was 50 to get here again. That's okay. You're 45. Intermittent fasting is the best way. Yeah, it's awesome. Plus it clears up all the brain fog that you have anyway being 45 or 50. It's life-changing, because eating 3 meals a day, I had so much brain fog, I couldn't even function anyway, so love it. It's just really hard to turn off your head. It works great. Go kart, it does. I hear you, Katie. You gotta have the right sleep, the right amount of water intake, and the least amount of food, but a good healthy food too. So staying away from the donuts and bread is the hardest thing ever. I crave it so bad. But if I keep to my proteins and my grains, then I'm great. I'm perfect. I have little treats like the Hershey Kisses when I have to have chocolate, because, I'm female. Small treats like that, just to get over whatever I'm craving, have it. And just get over it, whatever it is. If it is a honey bun and I can't stand it and I have to have one, then I eat half of one and not a whole one. If it's a Krispy Kreme donut, then I eat half of it and give the other half to Travis. I just have to have it, then I have to have it. I just eat half, and that's it. It does. It's a lot. I nearly doubled my weight with my first child. So, yeah, I was 100 pounds, and I ended up 186 when I had him. I had a great time being pregnant. I loved every minute of it. I loved it. It was great. It was the best thing ever. I totally took advantage of I'm eating for 2. And then I stayed in the 160s afterwards forever and ever and ever and ever. And then as I got in my 40s and 50s, then, another 40 pounds on top of that was easy. And I'm only 5'2", so That's just too much. All right. Everybody's saying D. You all know if it starts with 14, it goes solo, right? All by itself, no matter what. Don't look at anything else. You know your answer is always going to be the code by itself, for sure. This doesn't tell you that they're doing a adjacent tissue transfer. So this is a really interesting one that you might want to look at. It is a basal cell carcinoma. It's an excision of skin cancer. But I don't know if they tell us in here that they're actually doing an ATT. So that's why they're trying to confuse you with the 13 and the 14s up there and the 17 to make it look like a Moss surgery or something. So I thought maybe there might be something inside here that we could look for some additional notes we could write so we would know this was an ATT. I haven't had a chance to look at this one. Extensive undermining. You know you're complex. Burroughs triangles. Yeah, let me see, guys. How do we know this one is going to be an ATT? That was my question. Because if you got yourself confused and forgot or didn't know about our 14 technique, how would you know that this isn't a Moss surgery or whatever the 13 is? What's the 13? What code is that? 13152? I mean, I would just look at the answers and know 14 by itself and go on. But if I caught myself looking at the name of the procedure, it doesn't say adjacent tissue transfer. Maybe I would start second guessing myself. $13,152. That's just a repair. So definitely no, we're not doing a repair. So how would we know this is not a Moss surgery? 7313. That's Moss, right? Moss, whatever we're supposed to call that. Google disagrees with everybody who codes these on a daily basis. Our 13 is for trunk, arms, or legs. See, this is the face and upper eyelid, so we know it can't be a 13 because that code is only good for trunk, arms, and legs. Thank goodness. If they had picked 11 and put 11 there, that could have been face because that's head, neck, and hands. So just by chance, we know if you did look up, C can't be the answer and A can't be the answer. And you would be confronted with it has to be a 14, but God forbid they put an 11 there. Then it's got the repair down, so you know you don't code a repair with a Moss. So that would be fine. We can make that out. Even if they did make that an 11. So that's good. Other than that, we removed the lesion, and then we went to repair what we removed, and we did extensive undermining. What that's doing is creating a flap, which is the graft that we're doing, which is the adjacent tissue transfer. That extensive undermining is telling you that they're making a graft right there. Reoppose deep fat, that's an adjacent tissue transfer. You're removing the deep tissue fat and going to put it in the defect that you created here by removing the cancer. We could use that. Reoppose deep fat, that means adjacent tissue transfer, I bet. That's a good one. We could put that underneath the code. Reoppose. Sorry, I'm just sitting here talking to myself. I think I forgot y'all were here. I do this all day long when I'm working on y'all's questions. I'm like, how can I explain to them what's an AKA term for ATT? ATT, I like that one. Reoppose deep fat. And then we've got extensive undermining. I like those. Y'all see anything else? Oh, thank you, Katie. I know it's a long week here. You're welcome. Watch the replay, girl. I've got more good stuff coming up. There's our answer, of course. It's D. We knew that. Burroughs triangle is an ATT too, guys. I don't have that down either. I thought I said something about that earlier. Is an ATT. Cool. Girl, we all gained weight. Even my Travis, who has never gained an ounce, he was almost scaring the heck out of failure to thrive. His entire life I've had him gained weight during COVID. And I have been trying to get that child to gain weight forever. But COVID shut down, not going to school, staying home for a year, and access to the refrigerator 24/7, that did it. He gained some weight. Sure did. Your second attempt is tomorrow. You're stressing. You missed it by 2 points last month. Oh, you're going to do just fine. That first attempt, you never know what you're going into. You want my list of what you need to know for tomorrow? Where's my list? Where's my list? Where's my list? Lord. Do I have it down? Should have spoke up sooner. I know it's late. You got to get to bed and get some good sleep for tomorrow. Where's my stuff? For tomorrow. ERSD. Make sure you know that's end-stage renal disease. The answer to that is on the back cover of the CPT book. You have a bunch of acronyms back there. Orthon's tumor. It's an oral tumor in your salivary gland. Phalanges. Be sure you know where those are. ALS, BLS. Advanced life support has a paramedic in there in your ambulance. BLS is just 2 EMTs. Adverse reaction. Look for the answer that has the number 5 in the 6-digit area. Anytime there's an adverse reaction, a patient having an allergic reaction to something, look for the 6-digit answer that has the number 5 in it. That'll be your answer. 14 is benign. 16 is malignant. Penile prosthetics. They had that. Vaginal delivery. J11. Be sure you know what the acronyms or each letter for HIPPA stands for, what each letter for NCCI stands for, the modifiers that they might use, 50, 51, 76, 77, 73, 74. The page in the CPT book, page 53 for case management, the colonoscopy page with the colonoscopy decision tree in the digestive section. Be sure you know where that is. Yep. Best of luck tomorrow. Best of luck. We'll be thinking of you tomorrow. Just, take it one question at a time. Utilize the process of elimination, looking for similarities, looking for those coding irregularities and those modifiers. Don't forget about the Luna, whatever word for the fingernail, L-U-N, whatever. That's something or another for the fingernail. And I forgot the OS equals opening of the cervix. OS. It's not the eyeball thing. It's the opening of the cervix. ABN. Tons of ABN questions on there. Yep. Good night, Andrea. All right, let me cover up the next question real quick and get it shrunk down here. It's huge. Let me cover it up real quick. Please don't read the questions. Go straight to the answers first for tomorrow. What do you guys think the answer would be if you saw this one without? I've only got 2 more left, and then we'll do the CPMA case. Would you have done 2 CPT codes, 3 CPT codes, 3 CPT codes, or 3? How many diagnoses? 1 diagnosis, 2 diagnoses, 3 diagnoses, or 2 diagnoses? When you do, is that 2? That's 2 diagnoses, not 1. 2. Sorry. When you have T codes, that means an injury or something's happened to the patient. Do you normally, we have 5 things that go with this, There's those guidelines in the front of the diagnosis code book. You've got 5 areas. That you're supposed to code with those. You got your place of service, the location, all that good stuff. I have a whole mess of them. See, indexes of diseases. Here it is. I moved the guideline everywhere in the ICD-10 book and in the CPT book. I move it everywhere. For anybody that's had an accident, there's 5 different things you should or could code if you're given that much information in the book. How it was caused, the intent, the place of service, the activity and the status. Everything that is a blue, I know is the intent. Everything that I go through and I might mark with a different color, I know that that color is tied to those other ones. So it's super helpful just to do that throughout the book. If I can get, Lord, and my ICD-10 notes. Y'all, there's more of the blue. And these are all the yellow for the place. And then there's other colors in here, but you see where I'm getting. I write this here. I also write it in chapter 19 and again in chapter 20 so that I've got it written out everywhere. So this type of place, if there's an accident, I know that I'm looking for like 5 diagnoses to be with them. So it wouldn't bother me that there were 3. I mean, that's getting more than these other ones that are 2. So just based off that, I like C because it has more diagnoses because there's an injury. That's what I look for, is to find one that actually has more. The rest of them only have 2. So based off that alone, I would pick C. What do you guys think the answer might be? Thanks, Julie. Everybody was thinking A. Oh. When you got injuries, you really need to have 5 diagnoses. So you want to look for the answer that has the most diagnoses. Yeah. Anyway, what's going on with our 15-240? What the heck's that? (15-240) is a full thickness graft up to 20 or less. 20 or less, and we're full. What are we doing? Full thickness. We've got 20 here. What's going on with 41 would be for each additional 20. So there's our 40. We got 20 and 20. We've got 40. What's going on with this 1504? That's our surgical prep. Did we do surgical prep? Keloid scar 1 year ago. Radical excision of the scar was done. And if you see 04, that's our scar release. Scar is our 15004. So all those CPT codes are perfect. Now to diagnoses. Would we jump straight to a T code? If you remember our T codes, you should have at the very beginning of your T chapter. We've got these things written in. There's the very beginning, never coded first, chapter 20. We've got all those written in on the first of that. T codes can go first for your adverse reactions and stuff, but what was the patient being seen for today was, if you look at the very beginning of chapter L, anything with L, it says that you're here for diseases of the skin or subcutaneous tissue. So they're here for a scar, which would be the skin issue. The T code would be because of the fire a year ago, right? And then we've got our other external cause about the fire. I'm sure X1 was, yeah, about the fire. something to do with a fire. So you definitely need all three. Let me cover up the next one so you can try the process of elimination. And this will be the last one tonight. I won't do the CPMA case, I don't think. I don't know. If she's still on, I will. But I don't want to do it if she's not here. All right, here's our next question. I don't want her to miss it. And do it live with me. I think it's Martha or Marcy. Marcy. It's Marcy. This one, what do you think the answer is without looking at any of the question? What do you think? Hold on. He doesn't get wild out there. Oh. You know, this is another one where we've got our 14 code, right? It'd be easy just to pick your 14 all by itself, and whatever diagnoses go with it is fine. But I wouldn't put anything with it. I'd just pick D and move on with my day with that one. This one's got 2 pages. Have we? I don't know if we've done this one or not, but how would we know this one is an adjacent tissue transfer? We've got the word adjacent chin in here. These are good because they don't say we're doing an adjacent tissue. They say we're doing an excision. In this one, they're excising down to the muscle. And then they did say they did an adjacent skin undermining. So that's an adjacent tissue transfer. Yep, for sure. And those are coded by themselves. Easy peasy with that one for sure. The 14 code rule is if you're doing any of those codes, if you have the 2023 CPT book on page 94, these codes are all coded by themselves. Your guidelines are on the previous page, page 93. But they are all coded by themselves. Where's my old book? This book, I don't know why I still have it in my hands every time I try to teach, but let me go to this one. The one with my notes in it. I've massacred this page so that there's no way to not see this one. This is what I've done to each one of them so that I know that the 1-4 includes an excision, includes an excision, includes an excision. They're always trying to give you a question with the 14 code with another code with it, but I put beside each mama code that it already includes the excision, so that when you see questions like this, you'll know that these questions, the 14 is usually the answer all by itself. We don't add any of these excisions. The 17s, the 16s, we don't add those in it because the adjacent tissue transfer includes your excision, and it'll tell you on the previous page where we wrote all those notes right there. That first sentence right there means that it includes the excision. And then they give you some AKA terms of what kind of different types of procedures are also called adjacent tissue transfers, like Z-plasty or an island flap. And all those words I've moved to this sidebar with the code so that I've got it all listed into one location so that I don't have to remember to go back to the guidelines. But that's our rule. Anything that starts with 1-4 is coded by itself. It includes the excision, the repair, and the skin graft all together in one code. Now, if you go to another body part and do something else to a different body part in the same visit, then great, as long as it's not the graft that you're moving to the defect that you just made. But you'd have to be doing like something totally different. Like they came into the office today to get this adjacent tissue transfer, but while walking into the office, they smashed their hand in the car door and had a 10-centimeter laceration or something that they needed repaired just by coincidence, you know. It would have to be something totally unrelated to what's going on here. You're welcome. Well, I know it's late. If the boys have a football game tomorrow night, so it's at 6 o'clock, so that's just takes up my whole afternoon, and I'll probably get home maybe around 9 o'clock or so. But if anybody's around, I'll be doing ICD-10 book prep Saturday and Sunday. So I'll be live on TikTok those 2 days whenever I have a spare moment and sitting here with the camera. So next week I have no idea what day I'm going live. I have no idea. I know we have 1 or 2 more weeks of football and then we're done. And then it's just soccer and baseball. He is not trying out for the basketball team, so we're going to be spared that. But as soon as I know when I'll go live again, I will let y'all know. Be sure and join the Discord group. It is all free and super helpful for you. It has tons of practice exam rooms depending on what your certification is you're going for. Plus, it's where you find Twinkle most days and can get help with any questions that you have. There's always somebody in there awake that can help you and answer a question. It's a great community, and there is no spamming either. So it's just us, and there's no advertisements or anything. So it's a great little community there on Discord. I hope this has been super helpful. I know it's been a pretty good 2 days. I think we've learned quite a bit. And best of luck to those that are taking their exam tomorrow or this weekend. Thank you, Go Kart. I appreciate and have so much fun with you guys too. Y'all are super fun, and I love hanging out with y'all, and I love seeing y'all's successes in passing these darn tricky exams for sure. And they're only making the exam even more trickier later on. So as they keep changing the exam, we will keep combating all the little technical issues, and I'll see what I can do about making it a little bit less stressful for you guys so that you can get into this medical coding career, which you can use in so many different ways. Really can. And keep in mind, if anybody's in the Vegas area, I do have somebody who's going to be looking for a medical coder in the next 3 months. It's probably going to be all remote, but you have to meet her. You have to meet my nurse practitioner friend and hang out with her and help her get her practice going. So some of it will be in person, I'm sure, but probably most of it will be remote. But it's a great way to get in the door. Plus, you'll still have access to me because I'll be consulting with her and helping her along her way and making her own practice. So if anybody's in the Vegas area, y'all let me know so I can hook y'all up with her. Best of luck for everybody who's taking their exams, and y'all be sure and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and look for the place where you get notified when I go live and update that, because the default is not to let you know when I go live. There's a way you can go in there to change your settings to let you know when I go live. That way you'll get an alert when I do. Because unfortunately, I just don't know when I can go live, and I wished I had a schedule for you guys like I always did before, but hopefully high school will calm down soon. All right, if no more questions, I love you guys. I will see you guys later on this weekend on TikTok, and for sure sometime next week on YouTube again. Y'all get some rest.